Right now, your blood sugar could be slowly rising. Not enough to feel it, not enough to call it diabetes yet. And most people never find out because they never look. I'm a Japanese doctor, an occupational physician, and today I'll show you the one number that can warn you years early, what you can do about it, and I'll be honest about what a checkup can and cannot do. Let me be straight with you up front, more than most channels will. By the end of this, you'll know the two numbers worth asking your doctor for, and the one simple change that cut people's risk of diabetes by more than half. But first, let me be honest about who I am and who I'm not. I'm not your family doctor, I don't treat diabetes, and I don't prescribe your pills. My world is workplace health and reading these early warning numbers. Over the years, I've personally gone through tens of thousands of people's yearly checkup results. And when you read that many for that long, you start to see something most doctors never get to see. Here's what you see. The same person, year after year, and the numbers quietly climbing. A little higher each time. They feel completely fine the whole way. And then one year, it's diabetes. But it didn't start that year. It had been creeping up for a decade. In plain sight, on a piece of paper, if only someone had looked. Take blood sugar. Before diabetes, there's a stage called prediabetes. Your sugar is rising, but you feel perfectly normal. You would never know without a number. And here's the hopeful part. In a large study of people at exactly that stage, a simple change, losing about 7% of their body weight, and roughly 30 minutes of activity a day, like brisk walking, cut their chance of developing diabetes by 58%. 58%, not a drug, movement, and a smaller plate. Now, to be clear, that study isn't from my clinic. I don't run a diabetes practice, and the doctor for your treatment is your own doctor. But the lesson is for all of us, the people who turned it around could only act because they knew their number first. The number isn't a verdict, it's a head start. So, should you just go get a big yearly checkup? Here's the honest truth, and most wellness people won't tell you this. Researchers pooled 17 large studies, more than 250,000 people, and asked one question: does getting a general all-in-one checkup make you live longer? The answer was, by itself, no. Not overall, not from heart disease, not from cancer. Surprising, right? But read that carefully, because it's the whole point. It's getting checked by itself that didn't help. Knowing your numbers and then acting on them is a completely different thing. The checkup doesn't save you. What you do with it does. So I'm not here to sell you a magic shield. I'm here to tell you which numbers are worth knowing and what to do when one of them is off. Which brings me to something that genuinely amazes me, even as someone who does this for a living. In Japan, just about everyone gets those numbers checked every single year. A whole country, fresh numbers, like clockwork. Part of why is the workplace. Here, looking after people's health where they work is simply built in. The idea is to fit the work to the person, not the person to the work. Now, you can't pass a law like that for yourself, but you can absolutely borrow the habit. And that habit is the entire secret. Not a gym, not a superfood, just this. Look at your numbers every year while there is still time to act. So here's the one thing to take from today. And whether you're still working or long retired, the move is exactly the same. Ask your doctor for your numbers. Your blood sugar, that's a simple test called an A1C or a fasting glucose, just a quick blood draw. Your blood pressure, your cholesterol. Even if you feel perfectly fine, especially if you feel fine, not because something hurts, just because it's time. And if one of them is creeping up, you don't panic. You act early, why small changes still work. That's the whole game. Know your numbers, act early. I'll keep doing this the honest way. No fear, no hype, just what the evidence really says. Subscribe. There's a lot more coming.